Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom reviews. You see my title below, this is on episode 26 of Macross Delta, the final and last episode. So, pretty much how did I feel about this episode? I enjoyed it, though it was really rushed. Like, it went through everything so fast. They had so much stuff to cover in this one episode. You know, usually has, I know you guys are saying usually there's a huge epic fight, huge epic battle that goes on. This one may not have had it. I saw in the forums that people were, you know, it didn't have as much as that, but I mean, I kind of expected it considering what happened to the fleet and before that, and considering that this anime, Macross Delta in general, is more about the girls singing, you know, battles against each other. Pretty much more about the singing, and in that terms, we had a lot of songs go in this one that I really did enjoy, that kind of stuff. But like I said before, this episode was incredibly rushed. It went through, there was only 20 something episodes. It's a normal episode kind of thing. I just feel if they gave this finale an hour long episode, it would have been so much better, or even more, just more episodes, or at least just not having to the point where I said there was so much build up. And even with all that build up, even with finally getting to this point, there's not enough time for everything to be solved, not enough time for everything to be, you know, developed in a good way. And in the end, we get an ending to which I love for one reason, obviously, but really did hate as well, because there was so much things that the way the ending ended, it didn't really end. The only ending and closure it gave me really was the fact that, obviously, as you guys know, I am a huge Freyja fan, and I really wanted Freyja to be with Hayate, and there were so many signs of her, you know, possibly dying or something like that, or maybe he just, you know, she won't, you know, end up saying her feelings out because of the fear, because she's dying and everything, and there won't be as much time left for both of them. And I thought maybe there's a chance that she would end up trying to sacrifice herself for everyone, including one of the parts where she started to sing and it started to expand more on her hand, and I thought she was going to force herself to try and free everyone and thus killing herself. That ends up not happening, so I am super happy with that. Sad that there was no kiss either. That was kind of disappointing, but super happy that they do end up, you know, having them, you know, Hayate and Freyja be together, and I'm a huge fan of them, so I'm happy with that. But other than that, that is the only closure we really get. We don't get, there's like several things, I have it listed because there's a bunch of stuff. First off, the whole thing with Royd in this episode kind of irked me, just in the fact that I had like Hines and Keith or someone trying to stop Royd way before, but they just let all this kind of stuff happen, and it made, for one thing, character development with several characters left unopened, obviously, it's been for a while, honestly, and in a way that this whole half, the second half, literally could have been so much better for so many characters. We're left with so many open, like, not really knowing most of our characters by the end of this. Arad and Konami's relationship, that was kind of just left out there. It didn't have any closure with that, like them, like, I don't know, at least like looking into each other's eyes or something at the end. It was none of that. There was none of that, not even like a single thing about them, and that always seemed like that would come up somewhere along the way, to which of course it ends up not. It's like, why put that in anyway in the first place, you know? And then of course Burger, what happened to him too? He was like this huge enigma, this huge thing, like focal point for a portion of the second half about him and his, obviously, dealings with, you know, Royd. And sure, he helped him out and everything, the you know, the rest of the group, but he doesn't end up showing up in the ending of this. I feel like he would have, and something happens or something like that. I literally had like the moment for like the whole second half thinking that Royd couldn't be the main thing. He had to be having someone like pulling the strings, and I thought it would be the Epsilon Foundation with Burger, but that ends up not happening at all, and we don't even know what happened to him. It's like, whatever, he doesn't give a crap anymore, and he's not going to show up in this. It was really confusing me for that as well. Lady M, that is another big thing. Sure, you know what, it doesn't even matter at this point fully, but they dropped a big bomb on who she could possibly be. It's not for sure, obviously, but I just felt like after she was the one who dealt with all this kind of stuff, she was the one behind the scenes controlling everything about Mikomo, and she doesn't end up showing up or even in like something, a discussion about her or some her communication between her and them or something like that. None of that happened, so that's another thing left up in the air. Hayate's father, the whole thing with, you know, what's it called, Freyja pretty much knowing about, you know, that's the, you know, his father was the one she ended up, you know, giving the MP3 player and everything for her. And it seemed like that was a huge thing in the first episodes and everything, her and that MP3 player. And as we went along the way, we knew it was a human that gave it to her. And then we, of course, figured it out that it was obviously, you know, Hayate's father, to which she ends up not telling him. She wants to tell him later. And we don't even get that kind of conversation either. That would be like a main thing that would end up maybe convincing him for this love triangle. Obviously, it doesn't have to, because in the end, yeah, I still don't think from everything that happened in this one, this love triangle, in my opinion, I don't know if you guys said that the other love triangles aren't really well done as well in any of the other Macross series, but this one, to the end, I feel this was not a love triangle. It literally was not. It was, you know, we have Mirage over here. She has a one-sided love, you know, affection for Hayate that was never shown to be, you know, Hayate feeling the same way. It was literally Hayate sees her as like a friend, if not best friend, if not maybe like a sister kind of thing. Not really sister, but like a best friend kind of thing. Nothing more than that. And they didn't really develop anything about Mirage too. That's another person that I feel like they should have developed her character a lot more than they did, and thus not developing her character made the love triangle even feel even more sour, more not really like a love triangle. Hayate as well, in the end, I don't really care for his character too much, to be honest. I love Freyja, and I really wanted her and Hayate to be together, but I felt like Hayate, from the beginning, he did change a little bit, his whole, you know, ideals and how he looks upon everything and his flying and stuff, but there was no real big development for his character. There was no real big development for most of the characters. Maybe the one that you can say is Mikomo. She got a lot of character development towards the end, and I did enjoy that fact, and, you know, her biggest change and her, you know, being able to fight, of course, you know, the, what's it called, you know, Rudum, whatever, Mayan, she's able to fight that and be able to, you know, sing along with Watakura was pretty awesome. But other than that, no one really got a lot of character development, and I felt like that could have been a huge portion of the second half of the anime. But instead, we got countless different things being thrown in, countless different things really making me feel like, oh my gosh, there's too many questions being left open and not answered, until finally they started to answer everything, but still it was way too late in my opinion, and the amount of build up to the amount of what happened was not enough, and in the end everything ended up being rushed in my opinion. It was also another thing, like what happened, like even though they managed to, you know, stop, what's it called, Royd from pretty much enslaving the whole galaxy, the whole thing with the war of you know, humans and everything, nuns versus the Winderman planet is still in effect. We don't really know what happens after that. We just know Hines is like, okay, when everything's good, we're out of here, you know, we're going back to Windermere. So we don't really know. I'm guessing, you know, towards the end he was like full on like, you know, I want peace and everything. He doesn't want any more war. He wants to have some peace talks. So probably that ends up what's going to happen. But like, it really irritated me with Hines and Keith as well. I really felt that they could have done something, or would have done something way earlier. Hines just like followed him like an idiot. Like literally, there was a couple moments I thought that Hines was different and he would see what Royd was doing, but he just followed him, whatever. Keith, he saw what was happening, but he just didn't give a fuck, really, what it seemed like. And I really hated that. I thought there would be like some inner turmoil between the Windermans, and there was other people as well, like Herman and Cassim, that thought, you know, they thought what, you know, Royd was doing, his claims about the previous king's will and everything was a lie, but they just went along with it. That really irritated me, to be honest. But other than the episode being rushed, I loved the amount of stuff that happened in this one. I loved the songs in it. I loved, you know, the finally confession from Freyja and Hayate. Of course, Mirage did confess as well. The battle wasn't maybe as crazy as it could have been, but I still enjoyed the whole hype that was going on between the battles of everyone going on. It was also pretty cool to see, pretty funny to see the the Knights teaming up with Delta, including Bogue pretty much blushing like crazy when he saved Reyna. Sorry, bro, but she is with Machina, that's for sure. But yeah, like, this episode had a lot of music, a lot of great songs. That's one of the reasons I love this series, was because of the music. So that is something that I was happy about. The action in it, like I said, was okay. Could have been better in my opinion, but I still did enjoy it. And yeah, we get some type of closure with one thing, but a whole bunch of things left over that really I felt like if they had an hour-long episode, we could have made it a lot better. And if anything, I feel like we could have, like, I don't know, another season or something to show more about the stuff that goes on. But I'm pretty sure there's not going to be another season. If there is, that'd be awesome. There is a possibility, like you guys said, of there being a movie, to which they would do hopefully a better job. I would definitely end up watching that. But yeah, that's really everything that happened in this episode. Overall, how did I feel about the whole season in general? Was my review on it? I would definitely have to give it a 7 to a 7.5. I'm sorry, I would like to get it better. It would have been a lot higher, but the first half, in my opinion, was really well done. I would give it maybe an 8, to be honest. Second half, it dropped in terms of everything for quality. The music was still awesome, I still love that, but the amount of stuff that happened, the build up, the slow pacing and amount of build up that they had, to the point where it came to the point where it was just completely rushed, and it felt like everything was just not planned correctly for the second half. Just like you guys said, it wasn't supposed to be a second half. Actually, it was supposed to be the first half and then a movie or something like that. That would have been fine because everything was probably planned out. But instead, they decided to just have a full-on 26 episode season, and the whole second half was poorly planned, poorly executed in a lot of ways. But still, overall, I still enjoyed the anime. I still enjoyed this episode. I still enjoyed the whole season, even if there was a lot of questions that I still have left unanswered by the end of this. I can still say that I did enjoy it, and I'm happy that I gave a chance to Macross Delta, and happy that now, after watching this, I am excited to see the other Macross series. Now, this is where I want to ask you guys. You guys have been all telling me, that I should definitely watch the other Macross series. I definitely should, all these other reasons. And I've been saying over and over again that I plan to do it after Delta. So now the big question is for me to you guys is, which order do I watch all the Macross series? I don't really know if there's a specific order I'm supposed to go to, but if you guys what you guys think, feel free to comment below. I'll pretty much, I guess, see which is the most commented and liked and everything, and I'll watch it from that point. I'm not too sure if there's like a chronological order that I'm just gonna go from. I heard that I think 0 is a prequel, so I go from that and go on from where there, or am I supposed to go from like the first one to this one to that one to that one? I'm not too sure, but yeah, feel free to comment below on which order you think I should be watching it on. And another thing is, do you guys want me to? I'm thinking of just watching the whole season myself and then giving season review kind of thing. I know normally with my reviews, I usually obviously do episodic reviews, but that's usually because it's seasonal animes where I would watch it during when it's coming out. I've never reviewed an anime on this channel yet where I have, it's an older anime. So this is new for me. So what you guys think I should do, I might just probably end up maybe giving my first impressions on the first episode, and then watch the whole thing, binge watch the whole thing, and give my review on the its entirety, just like kind of like I did on Real Life, where they decided to give out the whole season out on the day it came out. So I gave my first impression on the first episode, and then watched the whole thing and gave my review. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But if you guys think I should do like an episodic thing, maybe I'll decide to do that. I'm not too sure on that yet. But overall, I have to say that I am happy with everything. I am glad I gave this a try, and I'm glad that Freyja and Hayate are together. You don't even know, even though I felt this episode could have been so much better, you don't even know when they finally confessed to each other, and like the numerous points where we had both of them together in this episode, including the end when she at first is scared, you know, like, oh, looking at her hand, but you know he says he's gonna live with her forever and everything. It's touching. It's not gonna be true because she also dies earlier, especially because of, you know, her aging right there. But it really was a touching thing. I really wanted a kiss. You don't even know. I was like, kiss, 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 kiss. And they even, like, you know, the song was even the kiss song. I forget what the song title is, but it's like, kiss the. Yeah, I'm not going to sing it. But yeah, I was like, oh, are they going to kiss? That doesn't end up happening. And yeah, that was pretty much the end of the episode. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And as always, guys, feel free to comment your guys' thoughts. How did you guys feel about this episode overall? How do you guys feel about the season in general overall? And, you know, talk about any of your thoughts on this Macross Delta series, on this episode, anything about it. Feel free, good or bad. I want to know your guys' thoughts on everything, on how you guys feel about this and how you guys feel about a potential season 2 or a movie, most likely probably a movie. Do you think they would do a better job? Anything along those lines, feel free to comment below. I always want to know what you guys are thinking, especially with an anime like this, since I know there's a huge backing and fans of Macross series. So like, honestly, out of every single thing I've reviewed in my entire YouTube career or whatever, at reviewing animes, this one is literally probably the most enjoyable because there's so many of you that are so passionate and like comment below, and I'm always like, oh, this is what this guy thinks. Hey, what do you think about this one? It's honestly like I get to see you guys every week in your comments and like, oh yeah, I thought the same thing, or oh, I don't know about that one. But it's always cool to see what you guys are thinking. It's been a great ride, and I can't wait to be back with you guys in the next Macross series. So yeah, till next time, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.